there will be people who just will not rise to your performance expectations, and that's okay. It's not personal. They may you may see some of yourself in them, and that's okay as well too. But all of that has to be uncoupled. It's that I've given you the formula, I've given you the tools to support you to rise to my expectations, but you're not rising to them. And so you have to go, and so I have to deliver this critical information over to you about where you're not performing well. And it's one of those muscles that has to be built where it's again, it's not a personal thing. I may like you as a person. You may be the sweetest person in the world, but you're not performing to my expectations. And there are two sides of it. You're not performing to my expectations. What are your expectations, right? And I think that you already have those expectations lined out. Because you haven't yet found a solution to working with this particular challenging person, I wouldn't go into an interview at this caliber that's going to be this in depth using this example. Unless you go in with this person, you throw in this formula, she gets it, it works out, and there's some great thing that happens on the end. Now, yeah, that's a great story, but I don't think you have the ending of your story yet to be able to use that story as a particular, here's how I've turned something around. One of the things that I challenge my the managers who are on my teams a lot with is we've got to move sooner to release people who aren't performing well. Because what tends to happen is sort of twofold. Number one, work isn't getting done to the caliber that it needs to get done for the benefit of the whole company. And number two, it begins to impact people who have to keep working with that person, right? And what one of the worst things that can happen on a team is if other people start leaving because this person is still staying. Right. I want you to be able to be proactive, and I want you to be able to feel more empowered on who stays, who gets the privilege of working with you and on your team, and who doesn't. You've got work to do, and you have standards. You have quality standards. And because you can't go into a meeting and say, well, Susie didn't do her job, so I couldn't do my job. No. You have to go into that meeting saying, I didn't do my job. You need to have strong people who are on your team. And if you can't, and if you're unable to do it for yourself, then do it for the other people who are performing well on the team. It's tough. I've actually had people in tears when I had to let them go from the team, because we have such a family, like we are family, we're in this together, we knocked this out together. But one of the things that I even tell my leaders, I especially tell my leaders, as a leader, you cannot be the weakest link on this team. Because if you stay on this team and you are the weakest link on this team, then you're giving permission to everybody who reports to you to show up the same way. I know that can make me look like an entire, mean person sometimes. I could have said other words, mean person sometimes. But I have a duty to everybody else who's on the team, to the people reporting to them, to their peers, to the clients, to produce a certain quality of work.